Hey guys, as promised, if you watched my shorts on the new Christian Dior Mitzah collection, I thought I would go ahead and do like a longer length video, just kind of featuring this gorgeous eyeshadow palette, which many people have been telling me that they've been using it actually as a face palette as well. So we're gonna play around with that. I'll also show you some swatches of this. And they did also send me a loose powder in this Mitzah pattern, which is so pretty, and it's in the shade Rose. I haven't even opened up the loose powder because you have to like take this little safety seal off, and I was like, let's just do that together. And then they did send me 8 lipsticks. I don't know which ones are new. I'll try and put an asterisk next to the ones that are either new or limited edition or just part of this Mitzah collection. But I'll put that down below in the description box. I'll do a little bit of research, and that's it. But I don't have any makeup on right now, so I thought I would start with the Forever Skin Correct Concealer in 2N. This feels like almost every other video, doesn't it, where I start with this concealer. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it underneath my eyes, on my eyelids a little bit, and then hit some of the sunspots that I have. I am starting to get allergies, like seasonal allergies here in Vegas, because the weather just turned a little bit. I mean, it's not warm, but it's warming up during the daytime. And all of a sudden the other day, I started sneezing, my left eye was twitching, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And now my skin looks a little like blotchy, which is what happens. So anyway, if you see that, that's what's going on. Just gonna use the Jumbo base to blend this all in. And I did put on my leopard print shirt to celebrate this Mitzah collection. This is a really old shirt from H&M. I don't think they sell this pattern anymore, unfortunately, but they do have this style. At least they did the last time I checked. And they just kind of change up the fabric that they use. But if I can find it, I'll link it down below as well if you're interested. It's a really good one to wear like under a blazer if you want, by itself if you want. Okay, my skin is looking a little bit more even. I think I need a little bit more help today. I'm gonna put some more around my nose, down here and up there. I'm excited to try this loose powder from DIOR because the experience I've had with DIOR powders in the past is that they're pretty drying. They're very, very matte and they're pretty drying. So I have really dry, sensitive skin. So I've kind of stayed away from DIOR powders. So I'm really curious to see how this one is going to work for me. But yeah, this is their cushion powder, and they sent over the shade Rose. So again, we've got that beautiful Mitzah pattern, and we've got a little powder puff, and then it's kind of like a cushion foundation packaging. And I'm gonna very carefully open up this powder. Oh my God. Hopefully you guys can see it, but there is a light pink tinge to it, and there is like a webbing over the loose powder. So I am gonna grab a powder brush, one of my biggest, fluffiest ones. This is the Surat powder brush, and I'm just gonna dip in very lightly and just start by kind of setting the concealer around my eyes. Yeah, immediately I see mattification, which is not a bad thing, but I don't like when it crosses over into like drying. And I think with that little amount, I'm okay. I am okay. I'm just going to pat a little bit more, just like in the center of my forehead, down my nose. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. This experience with this powder is better than my past experiences. Maybe I've always used a little bit too much, but my skin has not actually been feeling especially hydrated these days. So I was a little bit worried, but I think my skin looks good. It just looks, you know, mattified. It doesn't look dry though, I don't think. All right, and before we jump into this palette, I wanted to apply some bronzer, and I decluttered all of my DIOR bronzers. So I'm gonna go in with my brand new Jones Road bronzer in Dusty Rose. So I have Light Tan and Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose, I really, really love, and I talked about this in my favorites video. So that is Dusty Rose. It looks like a blush, but it works really, really well if you have a light skin tone, if you're very pale, if you have a cooler kind of skin tone. This one is fantastic. I think what I want to do with this bronzer too in the future is maybe kind of go between this and a bronzer that I think is too warm and see if this will cool it up a little bit. I'm curious if that will work. All right, so there is Dusty Rose applied. And now for this quote-unquote eyeshadow palette, which I would like to use on my face. So let's do some swatches first. I'm gonna go across the top, across the bottom, and then I'll do these two in the middle. So there are no shade names for any of these, but it looks like we just have a mixture between like a soft matte and a soft satin, basically. And these are all pressed shadows. None of these look to be baked or feel like they're baked, but just by finger swatching, they seem to be very, very soft and very finely milled. So we'll see. I'm looking at these two shadows here and try to figure out what I want to use as blush. I'm gonna go for this one. Eyeshadows are typically more pigmented than blushes, so I'm gonna go for the lighter one, just in case, just in case this one's like just a little bit too bright. So I'm going in with another face brush. This is Sonia G's Face Pro brush because I do want to stick with something light and fluffy, again, because these are most likely a little bit more pigmented than a typical blush. So I don't want to use like a really dense cheek brush and, you know, be stuck with like clown cheeks. So I'm just picking up a little bit of this light pink color. And this one does have a little bit of like a satin metallic sheen to it. Ooh, I like that sheen on my cheeks. Very pretty. And I picked up like the smallest amount and I feel like I'm good. I'm good for my blush. And then, okay, I'm feeling cocky now because I think that worked out really well. I am gonna take a smaller cheek brush. This is the Cheek Pro from Sonia G. I'm gonna go into the brighter pink down here and just hit like the apples of my cheeks and see how that looks. I'm really using the lightest of hands when picking up this powder. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Wow. Yeah, that really brightened everything up. I like that. And I think you can definitely use this as a face palette. You just have to be, like I keep saying, you just have to be a little bit careful. And then for highlight, I'm gonna try this shade up here. All right, I'm just gonna throw on some of the Chantecaille Full Brow Perfecting Gel and Tint. I used to have the DIOR Show Onset Brow Gel that I really loved, but I used it up actually, so that is gone. I definitely need to re-up on that. All right, so for eyes, I think I want to start with this shade over here, which is a matte shade. It's kind of like a warm terracotta kind of shade. And I'm going to use a big fluffy blender brush. This is the BK Beauty A503, and just gonna add that to the outer corner here. I love this big mirror in the palette, by the way. Very convenient. I have been doing so many cool eyeshadow looks that now whenever I do a warm eyeshadow look, they look really warm to me. And I can't believe that this was like more of a norm just a couple of years ago. Yeah, but this shade is very rust toned. I am gonna go into this shade down here and apply this all over my lid. I really like this very light, like peachy shade. Very pretty. And I'm just gonna take this shade, the deepest shade in the palette. This one is also a soft matte, and I'm gonna take like a very small blender. This is the BK Beauty A504. Pick up just a bit of that and really kind of emphasize the outer corner here. And I'm just dragging a little bit over on top. Just taking this fluffy blender and kind of working these shadows through. I feel like they look a little patchy over here. Oh, okay, this is helping a lot. Maybe I just didn't, I didn't blend enough. So I don't really see a shade in here that I can line my eyes with. You guys know I really like using eyeshadows to like deepen up my lash line. So I'm gonna put this away. I was really thinking I was gonna end up doing like a pink look, but I really kind of gravitated towards more of these like warmer shades, probably because I started with that transition. But anyway, I really like this look. This is more of like a fiery Valentine's Day look. I have this iridescent DIOR Show 24-Hour Stilo Intense Waterproof Eyeliner. I'm gonna use this today. This has a really interesting like sheen to it. Actually, let me do a swatch. It's really cool looking. I thought this was really a nice match. Well, actually more of a nice match to like the case versus my actual eye look, but we're gonna go with it. Just gonna curl my lashes. And DIOR also sent over their iconic overcurl mascara, which I really like. Oh, this is in a different shade. This is in Brick. Wow. Oh, I'm kind of glad I went with those eyeshadow shades because I think this is closer to that. I didn't realize that. I thought this was, OMG. I thought this was gonna be a black. Wow, let's get in close here. See if you guys can see this. Oh yeah. It's like a little hint. Oh, I love that. That is so cool. That is a lot cooler than I thought it was gonna be. You know, I've tried colored mascaras in the past and they mostly haven't turned out really well. So this is a nice surprise. It's, the color is faint, even though it looks pretty bold on the wand, it's actually pretty faint on the lashes. It's like this little hint. Like it's just made my lashes a little lighter. And I'm not sure if I am remembering this correctly, but when I used the Iconic Over Curl in the black shade, I didn't feel like the actual mascara formula felt as dry as this one does. This one feels a little bit drier, like kind of took a little bit to get mascara onto the lashes, but that's okay. It just took a few more strokes. How exciting. That's very cool. Okay, now for the lip swatches of the 8 shades that they sent me. Again, I don't think all of these are new, like 999, that's like the Dior red, but I'm gonna swatch everything anyway, and I'm gonna go by finish. So I'm gonna start with the velvet and the matte. Those two finishes are the most like similar, and they sent over 3 of the velvets and 1 of the mattes. We're gonna start with 564, which is Pink Leopard Velvet. Oh, wow. Here is a swatch. Wow, that's a really pretty color. This reminds me of a Lisa Eldridge color. I can't remember the name of it, but one of those like beautiful pinks that she came out with during the springtime. It does remind me of that. This velvet finish, very, very matte on the lips, but it feels super slick as well. So it's, yeah, it's this very interesting, interesting combo of it, like kind of just gliding right on the lips, but looking really quite matte, quite flat. I'm sorry, this shade is 757 Pink Paw. I don't know what I just did. I like put down 564, but then picked the, sorry. This is shade, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. This is shade 757 Pink Paw. Okay, now we're gonna do 564 Pink Leopard. And this is what Pink Leopard looks like. And here's a swatch of Pink Leopard over here next to Pink Paw. Similar, but this one is a little bit, I don't know if you can see it in the swatch, it's a little bit peachier, but they're both like really bright, really pastel kind of colors. So that's Pink Leopard. All right, next we have 915, which is Soft Burgundy. Here is Soft Burgundy. Very accurate name for this shade. Let me take off Pink Leopard. Okay, there is Soft Burgundy. Wow, so dramatic. I love this. Love it. It's a warmer kind of toned brick red. Finally, here is that 999 Dior red. The one shade in here that is matte is the Soft Burgundy. The velvet is actually a matter finish than the matte. So if you're looking for something that looks really flat on the lips, you want to definitely go for velvet. Wow. That is like a Valentine's Day red. Holy smokes. So pretty. Okay, so that is it for the matte and velvet finish lipsticks that they sent over. So next we will swatch the 3 satins and the 1 metallic shade that they sent over. All right, I'm gonna start with 540 Silky Coral. Ooh, wow. And this one looks like there's a metallic sheen to it. There is Silky Coral. So pretty. This is definitely not a color I would gravitate towards. I mean, I do like oranges, but I like them a little bit deeper with like a little bit more red, but this one is really pretty. This is great for springtime. Next we have Nude Fauve, I think is how it's pronounced. It's number 424. This looks right up my alley. So there's the Nude Fauve in 424. Peachy kind of nude shade. And next we have Rose Feline. This one is number 253. And here is the swatch. Such a pretty pink. I love these satin shades they sent over. I think I forgot to mention, they all do have that Dior fragrance. It's like a floral fragrance. I don't necessarily taste it, but I smell it. It's definitely there. Here is Rose Feline. I love this color. I love it. You guys know how much I love a frosty lip color. It's probably growing up in the 80s. I love this. I think it's so pretty. And last but not least is the one metallic shade that they sent over. So this one is 225 Beige Taffeta. I am absurdly excited for this shade. Here it is, swatched. All of the Dior lipsticks, by the way, are refillable now. Frosty. So frosty. I love this. I think this one's my favorite out of all of them. Well, that is it for this Dior Mitzah Collection video. Again, down below in the description box, I will just kind of type out or indicate somehow like what shades are new or what shades are like re-promotes in terms of the lipstick, because I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure which ones are new or limited edition or just re-promotes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.